Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers, and hey, today's super fun. We're gonna get right back into what we were doing on the previous video just because of a lot of the requests to do this, which has been a lot of fun. We actually really enjoy this as well, but we're gonna give you guys a full map tour and everything you need to know when it comes to Southeast Aurora 2023.
All right, let's go, guys. What's up, guys? I'm Eli Schmidt. This is my business partner, Will Grimes. And if it's your first time checking out our channel, welcome. And guys, we drop a new video every Tuesday and Thursday. So while you're here and watching this video anyway, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one.
100%. And we're licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means just so much we love making these videos. We love more to help you with those real estate needs. Let them know that's popping up below. We are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. If there's something we can do to help you, we would love to. But with that being said, let's get into Google Earth. Let's get into the map. Let's get into some explanation of what you guys are looking at and what to expect when it comes to Southeast Aurora.
All right, guys, so starting off, we are at milehighpropertybros.com. This is a great resource for all of you guys.
It's the resource. Guys, you've heard us. I'm cutting him off again. You guys have heard me say this before in the last video. This is one of the, and of course I'm biased because it's ours. However, it's also just one of the best websites we've ever seen, especially when it comes to real estate, how interactive this thing is, how close you guys can get proximity-wise to figuring out what you guys need, and how we can help you guys. We are proud of this project. We're glad that you guys can use it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so coming down here, guys.
Yes, we were on the Drew Barrymore show. Yes, you can see us on CBS.
All right. Now, coming down here, guys, we are going to go and you're going to see these different parts of Aurora. Okay, we've got North Aurora, we've got Central Aurora, we've got Southeast Aurora, which is what we're going to be exploring today. So let's go ahead and jump into there. Now, starting off, before we start going into the individual components or neighborhoods that make up that Southeast Aurora area, just want to give you guys this overview of just some of the average types of listings that are going to be out there.
And you're seeing a little bit, depending on like, and guys, what's going to be popping up right here could be a little bit random. You guys are going to see like this townhome here for $350. That's right off of Arapahoe Road, not too far from the golf course. There are a couple of those, not too many. The one for one off to the far left, that's probably one of the more accurate depictments of what you guys are going to find in Southeast Aurora. Gorgeous home, a lot of really cool stuff about it. We're going to cover some different neighborhoods today so you guys we'll get specific to some of these homes, but we're going to show you guys South Shore, Blackstone, Tallyn's Reach, and just those major neighborhoods that we've spoken about when it comes to the Southeast Aurora area. Yes,
and another super helpful part of the site, as you're going to find, is there's going to be a section here for local businesses and dining, right? You guys can hit this drop down here if you want to see where you can go and grab some coffee. Some really good coffee shops are going to pop up. If you want to find out what gyms are in the area, you can go check that out right there. So again, you know, our site is just going to give you really good insight as far as not only what types of homes that are out there, but some of the amenities that you guys will be diving into as an actual resident.
100%.
So let's go over here to Google Earth now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off, I just did a search here for the zip code of 80016.
Yep.
And let's just give a kind of high level look at it here.
And 80016 is going to cover more than just the immediate area that we're going to show today, guys, which is like your South Shore, Tallyn's Reach, Blackstone area. But just to give you guys a look here, if we could zoom in a little bit. One click out. Okay, so right here you've got Aurora Reservoir up to your upper right-hand part of the screen. And then to the far left, without moving the screen.
Oh, I almost did it.
You've got 470. Now, 470, guys, is true to the aerial view you guys are getting. North is to the top of the screen. That part of 470 takes you out toward DIA. And if you continue to go, it'll eventually bang west and take you out toward Boulder. That's how, like, because I live in South Shore, that's how I can commute to Boulder so quickly and efficiently for clients or anything upwards, even close to north. If you take it south toward the bottom of the screen, that eventually bends back around toward I-25 south and it takes you out toward Castle Rock, Colorado Springs, and all of that good stuff. And then before we zoom in, you guys can kind of see like that commercial area by 470. That is Southlands Mall, outdoor mall. It's got Walmart, it's got Costco in addition to the mall. And then toward the 6 o'clock part of the screen, you see like a lot of grass and things like that. That is Cherokee Trail high school, along with like I think what they would call all city stadium. So all the high schools play there for home games per se. So a really big, beautiful campus. And I know we're going to get into like neighborhoods now, but that immediate area right by Cherokee Trail High School, just to the right, which would be just to the east of that campus area, is all South Shore. Got like Eagle Bend and stuff in and around, but we'll be talking South Shore, Tallyn, and Blackstone today.
All right, so starting off at South Shore, we've done some videos specific on South Shore. Again, it's one of our favorite neighborhoods. So many good things about it. One of the primary ones being all of the access to the reservoir that you guys have.
Right, you've got great clubhouses. So toward the top of the screen, you've got some great clubhouses. South Shore now has 2 large clubhouses, but all of these fingers that come down through Aurora Reservoir, just amazing views, amazing access. And if you guys can kind of tell, but see like that line that's around all these like fingers by the water, that is actually a sidewalk. Yep. So, and then if you keep going, see where like it's dark. But you still have the sidewalk line. So guys, that goes all the way around the reservoir. So a lot of folks park and they walk, they jog, they hike, like whatever it may be, but you guys can use the entire reservoir. I think it's 7 or 8 miles all the way around. You guys can use that recreationally as much as you'd like. And then obviously you guys can see like the sandy area. This is where like people go swim and paddle boat and all of that good stuff. And then you've got the parking lot. But you do have access to the reservoir from the neighborhood, several points on the neighborhood where you guys can enter and decide to go jogging or walking or whatever you like.
And this is a non-motorized boating lake, so you can get out here, you can canoe, kayak, paddleboard, whatever you want to do.
There ain't no motorboating on there.
No motorboating, no. Let's see here. Now coming off of South Shore, let's touch on Beacon Point real quick. So Beacon Point is going to be this part right here. So you're a little bit north of South Shore, and this is a more established neighborhood than South Shore, right?
It might be a little bit older. Yeah, a little bit. Houses are a little bit smaller, a slightly less price point, obviously a little bit further away from the water. You do have your own clubhouse and your own pool, which is really nice, and it's not a bad little neighborhood, kind of like tucked away just adjacent to South Shore. Some of this, obviously, you guys can tell like there's more homes established there now if you go up the block or if you go up the hill over there.
Yeah, I showed it all on the overhead. Here we go. So we'll just show you guys.
Yep, so great sidewalks, great trees. You guys can see some very nice homes. Some homes that could be similar to like what you'll find in South Shore, slightly smaller in some aspects depending on the block that you're on, if we're comparing South Shore to Beacon Point. But you guys can tell, we've done this in other videos. Look at this park they have right here, right by the neighborhood. You have these pop-up parks, what I would call, like every couple of blocks. So whether you're hanging out in your own front yard or backyard or not, you've got these little community areas. It slows down traffic. It gives kids another place to play. A lot of really cool stuff. This is the clubhouse. Right here for Beacon Point, which is nice. This one does not get too busy. So if you guys are living in Beacon Point, there's just a lot less traffic here. Scheduling that for birthday parties and things like that, definitely doable. Tennis courts, little pool. You've got some back patio on the back side of that clubhouse, which is really nice. These sidewalks go all the way out to the water. So if you guys want to still hike or walk and you live in Beacon Point, obviously you guys can tell you still have access to the reservoir from there. But then as you can tell, as we start moving more towards South Shore, which is there, and then the body of water just across.
Like right here.
To your left.
Here. There we go. Oh, there's the lake house right there too.
Yep, you can see the lake house. So this is part of it, but if you go back toward the lake house, that's like your main. So this is like, so this is your main lake house. Well, they're both main, I guess. You've got 2 there now, but this is the first lake house that was built in South Shore, which is amazing. Great look, huge pool. This is significantly bigger than Beacon Point's clubhouse. It's right on the water, and then as we go down, we can show this a little bit if you like, or if we can't, go to your right.
Go down here.
And then go straight up. So this is Lakeview Drive, guys. This is one of the original streets that was developed in South Shore. So you guys can see some of the model homes off to the right. You'll see some more model homes off to the left. And these are some of these homes that you can expect in South Shore. These are some custom homes, and obviously depending on how long ago these Google Earths were taken. But you guys can get an idea for like this style and custom style of home. If we continue to go up the block, you might see a little bit more. Really cool, really awesome, cool. And you've just got some really good builds there. I know Toll Brothers is in South Shore. We've got a Toll Brothers home personally. We've had an amazing experience with it. Again, guys, these are custom homes on Lakeview Drive. Not every single one of those homes looks like this, but you can have an opportunity to have a home like that. But just really cool, guys. And again, the biggest difference is size of home, proximity to water, and then size of clubhouses per se are what you're really finding to be beneficial for South Shore compared to Beacon Point.
Let's go ahead and head down here to Blackstone.
Which is like that square.
So Blackstone, guys, is a golf community, okay? But
as you can tell,
a low-key golf community. It's definitely not this pretentious, like, ooh, we're golfers. It's pretty awesome there.
It's pretty awesome because you've got this full country club off to your left that Eli's going to show you guys. People have weddings here. It's amazing. We've been inside several times. We've eaten there. Like, this is an amazing full-on country club. But what's really cool about Colorado, from my opinion, from what we can tell, is we don't have a ton of golfers here. We have people like that go and play and people enjoy it, but it's not like it's a like live or die golf community.
We have a ton of golfers here. A ton of people golf in Colorado, but
it's like recreation.
The Colorado vibe overpowers like pretentious golf vibes like you might find in some
But we still love the country club. But
yes,
for example, you guys have a full gym there. You've got a Starbucks in the country club. You've got a restaurant. There's so many things to do at these country clubs in Colorado outside of just the golf aspect. Obviously, some of the Schuylkill Earth is a little bit outdated for Blackstone, so we'll make sure we throw in some other drone footage and some B-roll for you guys. But proximity-wise, this is just to the south of South Shore, and really cool. And like, yeah, you'll be able to see some houses here. We could even probably view them from the street or from the golf course. So this is like your style here. Some custom garage doors, which is really nice. You do have a lot of ranches. So ranches are very popular in Colorado. Typically, per capita of how many homes are made, ranches were like the highest in demand a couple years ago, but the least style of home made. What I will say is I'm not sure if it's for retirement reasons or for pleasurability, but as you get into these golf communities, you do have more ranches made than normal. And I think a lot of it's for that. Some of them have walkout basements. If you guys back up to the golf course, like this street here, if we look off to the right, there should be some golf behind us. Anytime you guys back up to the golf course, as you can tell, if we go to like, I wonder if we could see in that cul-de-sac or behind the houses. But you guys can tell that there's gonna be some walkout basements there. So from the front of the house, it was like that one level, correct? But behind the house, the basement walks out. You've still got some really good sized lots here. It's a safe distance away from the golf course, which is really cool. You've got these cul-de-sac opportunities with less traffic, but just really pretty, really spread out. So if you're not into like the South Shore vibe as far as like the lake houses and taking your kids to the clubhouses and whatnot, you want something that regardless of your circumstance or age or anything, we've had people from all ages buying Blackstone. If you're just looking for something a little bit more low key, but you love going to dinner, some of the food in that country club there is amazing, and typically you'd go downtown for food like that. But here in Blackstone, you've got it right in your neighborhood if you guys choose to, right? So if you want to have access to that and enjoy food or some outdoor recreation or some gym, but you still love being out in suburbia per se, like, man, you literally don't have to leave. I would say with South Shore, you'd have to leave a little bit more because you don't have any restaurants in the neighborhood per se. You'd have to venture down the street, you know, 4 or 5 minutes, not a lot, to go to Southlands Mall, which is incredible.
Now, lastly, let's hit Tallyn's Reach here.
Yep, you've got a couple little sections. So guys, while we're looking right here, top of Tallyn's Reach is right where he's kind of like hovering. And then if you guys go just to the south across Arapahoe Road, you've got more Tallyn's Reach there. And if you guys go just across Aurora Parkway, you guys have 2 more little sections of Tallyn's Reach. The heart of Tallyn's Reach, your original Tallyn's Reach, is that top one, and then the bottom one just below Arapahoe Road. And I would say that like you will get some like slightly bigger homes down here in the southern region of Tallyn's Reach, but the southern region of the top neighborhood also has some really beautiful homes. And one thing that you guys can notice differently, if you watched our video before this one and we were in Denver giving you guys this map tour, remember when I said lot and block and everything was like north, south, east, west, beautiful, but like streets were straight and they were either going top to bottom or left to right? As you guys can tell, as you get more southeast, as you guys get into some of these neighborhoods, look at all these pine trees, look at all these grown trees, and they literally build these neighborhoods like into the landscape per se. But with that being said, because they want that feel, you're gonna have hills, you're gonna have valleys, which means these roads are gonna twist and wind and turn, and it's not your traditional straight up and down. I'm not sure if every suburbia does that in other states. I will say Colorado does a great job with it, but again, it like just gives you a great feel. I wonder if you could show the clubhouse in Tallyn's Reach. Because if you guys can see the clubhouse view, you'll see, let's go there real quick. So you guys can see like a lot of the hills and just trees. which is really cool with how they did that.
I would say, you know, one of the things that I love about Tallyn's Reach, even different than all the other Southeast Aurora neighborhoods, is that just something about the landscape and the pine trees and stuff that they have here. It feels almost mountainy.
It does. Like if you go to your left a little bit, like see all these trees, if we zoom in and kind of go stand in someone's backyard, like guys, these are all huge 30, 35 foot pine trees, which are amazing. And depending on the part of the neighborhood that you're in, there's actually trails that go in and behind people's houses and up through the trees, which is really cool. And so there's the clubhouse right there, correct? Yep, so if we go to your right a little bit, now you guys can see some of that trail that goes in the back of the neighborhood in between houses and between the green belt. And you've just got, I know it's hard to tell from here, guys, but those like big trees and all of that green area that you guys are looking at, a lot of that has elevation. A lot of it goes down into a gulch. So when you're in these backyards, like it's a really cool Colorado feel.
And here's one thing, guys, you know, we'll get a lot of people where they're like, man, there's just kind of some small backyards, and come to find out, once you start looking at homes, they're actually like, hey, I'm actually happy with a small backyard. If I back to open space, that's what I love. I just don't want neighbors looking down on me.
Yeah, so fun story, that house, go back to your left on the cul-de-sac, see that with the playground in the backyard? That's where I used to live. So when I was a cop and I had a house with a buddy of mine, this is young Will, back when I was single.
Did you plant this garden right here?
Of course I did, dude. I'm a green thumb, man. That's my thing. If you guys didn't know that, but while I was a police officer and my buddy ended up selling his house and I was staying with him, some folks that were our neighbors at the time were having that house built, and they said, Will, you know, are you going to go rent downtown and be a bachelor? What are you going to do? And they said, hey, we'd love for you to rent out our basement if you'd like. And so I rented some space in that basement. They were an amazing family. But the reason why I want to reference that is because as you get closer to that house,
there's a walkout example.
Yeah, see, so but go straight across. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
I can 3D it.
Yeah, but see that gulch to the right?
Yes, right.
That gulch right there with all those trees, guys. It's so much bigger than you might think, and it's beautiful. You've got the school off to the left right here, Cherry Creek School District, elementary school, like really cool neighborhood vibe. This section of Tallyn's Reach right here, guys, between all the homes that kind of circle in and around the school and the clubhouse and all the trees and the gulches and the trails, like what you guys are looking at right here, this is one of the hardest to beat neighborhoods in Colorado. I mean, like when you go trick or treat here, guys, all the neighbors are just hanging out and there's decorations and this is such a fun place to be. Definitely miss living right in the heart of that. Obviously, we love South Shore, but man, I wish I could just give you guys a better depiction of first person what it feels like to experience. And like you guys can see the trails kind of going through. Like this area of Tallyn's Reach and just Tallyn's Reach in general is just so hard to beat, guys.
It really is. Now, let's zoom out, guys. One other area that we want to show you is Southlands. We've talked about this a lot. We'll throw in some drone footage for you guys, but if you live anywhere near this area, even if you live in Parker, you're going to be coming to Southlands just for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, when Eli was in Parker, he used to come up to my neck of the woods and trespass in the South Shore.
So you've got this, you can see this is the main entrance here. It's kind of like a big outdoor mall. You've got your Dick's Sporting Goods, Barnes & Noble.
So the main entrance to Southlands Mall is toward the lower left hand of the screen. So zoom out a little bit more. Yep, so go scroll down. So right there, guys, is Smoky Hill Road. You can't tell on this Google Earth, but that's a large streetlight intersection now. And you've got a ton of gas stations and restaurants on the south side of the street. But that's your main entrance and main strip into the mall. And you guys can see how big that mall is. And then it leads all the way up to the top, which is where your movie theater is at, but right in that open space with the park area. You have ice skating in the winter in that central area. In the spring and summer, I think it's like every Thursday or every other Thursday, they have live concerts that put a big stage there, and you can hang out in the grass in the playground area and enjoy that. And then you've got some great restaurants in and around surrounding that theater.
Great movie theater here. Lazy Dog is over here. Really good restaurant if you guys are, you know, checking that out.
And then to the right, you guys have like your Walmarts, your Costco's, but they're separate from the mall. So as you guys can tell, if you're entering here to do some shopping for groceries, because you live there, you're not necessarily having to deal with the tourist side of every other city like Parker or anyone else coming to the Southlands Mall. It's got another main road there, and then you guys can get your shopping done separate from the mall.
That's right. So just zoom out a little bit to give you guys just some insight. Southeast Aurora, really, really good area.
Oh, this is such a good view. Okay, so if you guys can see that yellow road he's tracing right now, north and south, guys, that's 470. Okay, so like 470, if you go north and trace it, it'll take you all the way up north, and it bends west all the way to Boulder, but don't go that far. and then come back down south real quick.
Yep.
Because what I'm trying to show you guys is how many different lanes of access you have to Denver. Then that next main strip in the middle, if you show Smoky Hill Road with your cursor.
Here.
Guys, Smoky Hill Road goes all the way down to Highway 83, which is actually Parker Road. Parker Road takes you to Leedsdale, which is all the way in and around to Denver. And then if we scroll down a little bit or zoom out, you guys can see 470 going all the way down southwest, connecting to I-25 south, and then going all the way south. Nope, that's west. Over to 25, and then 25 goes south. And this is a great view. Let's keep it right here because you guys can see. So Southeast Aurora off to the right side, you've got some hills and some elevation. But we've always talked about Castle Rock, and we'll do one of these for Castle Rock as well. But guys, to the lower left hand of the screen, can you see all the green cliffs and vegetation there? That's as you start getting closer to Castle Rock. See how much more the mountains become paramount. So when we tell you guys, living in Southeast Aurora, it's a little bit more flat, but it's higher up and you've got an amazing view of the mountains. And then when you guys move down south, see how the landscape changes? It's way more, it's not as elevated, believe it or not, but you've got way more mountain and cliff. And this is where, like when you live in Castle Rock, you literally feel like you're a little bit more in the cliffs and in the mountains versus like Southeast Aurora, you've got a great view of the mountains, right? So something to think about as far as like just giving you guys a depiction for what elevation looks like out in this region.
And that last thing I want to point out, guys, you've got DIA right here. Yep. So if you are, and I'm just going to kind of trace this out here. This is 470 that I'm tracing.
How do you figure out maps like this?
You're right there,
Golly.
guys. So just kind of put a visual here. Thank you, buddy. 470 makes this huge horseshoe really around the whole southern metro area.
Yeah, this is all 470. So 470 is like your toll road per se, guys. Costs a couple of bucks, but you can literally drive circles around Denver and just save yourself so much time with where you want to go. And now you guys are starting to get an idea as far as like why Eli lives in Elizabeth, I'm in Southeast Aurora. It's a little bit off the beaten path, you might think, but our commute of north or south or directly into the center of the city for all of you clients and everybody we're helping from north to south commute wise, that's actually the best place to be.
Yeah, guys, this is just phenomenal. And then just one last thing on the 470 thing before we wrap up, but from I-25 east, this is all the the toll portion, right?
Yep.
But if you guys are anywhere over here, it's all free.
It can be free. You can also pay. They introduced the toll road lane for everything west of what you just showed. So it can be free if you'd like, but they also added the toll road lane. And guys, when it's 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, believe it or not, the toll road lane, even though it only costs a couple dollars, nobody's in it. Like you guys, it's the fast pass at Disneyland. So I personally think that it's worth it. But what's nice is they used to not have that, which means 470 where it was paid was always open. But then you hit the free one and there was no pay option and it would really slow you down. So some of you that want to live in Highlands Ranch or Littleton, you can now have the benefit of that paid lane and going super smooth all the way down through Denver Tech Center or Denver because you have that. Before they had that pay lane, you just have to suck it up with everybody else on the free side because there was no option. So I'm so glad that they've got that finished. I commute down there a lot for some car dealerships and some car shows that we go to. It was really well done, really well done. Another thing that was well done was our website.
What was that?
Right, our website was well done, but as a reminder, the only other thing that could be well done is you guys knowing that I'm going to throw this phone number on the bottom of the screen again and remind you that, yes, we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, and yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with those real estate needs. So that number that is still up below are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if we can help you, we would love to. But with that being said, we hope you guys enjoyed this. We're going to do a lot more for you guys per city, so you guys never miss out on the areas that you might prefer. Each week we will have at least one for you for these next several weeks to come, so you guys can have that.
All right. Appreciate you guys watching.
You guys enjoy your week.
We'll see you next time.
See you guys.